Yes, we.
Okay, thank you so much, Fernando. Okay, let's start with our grammar topic today that is about comparatives and superlatives. We are going to review this grammar structure and use, okay? Then remember to make comparisons in English, we use adjectives. Last class, we saw the adjectives of equality, and today we are going to check the adjectives for comparative in an in inequality and superlative form. Okay, check these examples. My house is larger than hers. This box is smaller than the one I lost. Your dog runs faster than Jim's dog. The rock flew higher than the rope. If you check in these examples, we have the structure. Noun plus verb plus comparative adjective plus er, then the word than before to mention the last noun. We are comparing two objects. Check again the examples. In the first one, we have my house is larger than than her house. We are comparing two houses and we are saying that the first one is larger, is bigger than the second one. Comparative adjectives then are used to compare differences between the two objects they modify. We have slow is the adjective, slower is going to be the comparative form. But as I told you before, we have other form of the adjective that is called superlative. And for the superlative, we have these examples. My house is the largest one in our neighborhood. This is the smallest box I ever seen. Your dog ran the fastest of any dog in the race. In these examples, we are comparing more than two objects. For example, in the first one, my house is the largest, is the biggest in this neighborhood in comparison with all the other houses. For the superlative form, we are going to follow or use this structure. Noun, the object, plus verb, plus the before the adjective in superlative form, then the complement. Superlative adjectives then are used to describe an object which is as the upper or lower limit of a quality. And we have irregular comparatives and superlatives. They don't follow any rules. They need to be memorized. Let's check the examples. Today is the worst day I had in a long time. You play tennis better than I do. This is the least expensive sweater in the store. This sweater is the less expensive than the one. I'm better at cooking than my sister, but our mom is the best. These adjectives have completely irregular comparative and superlative forms as we are going to see in advance. Okay? How we are going to form the regular comparatives and superlatives. We are going to check these rules to know how we are going to do the comparative and superlative forms. If we have an adjective in the first column of one syllable, tall, fat, big, sad, we are going to double the last letter before to add air, that is a comparative, and then the word that. Check the examples. Tall, taller than, it is not necessary to double the L, taller than, but in fact, we double the last T before add air than, fat, fatter than. Big, bigger than, double the last G. Sad, sadder than, double the last D. In this way, we are going to form the comparative of the adjectives of one syllable. For the superlative, we are going to write before the adjective the article the, and instead of er, we are going to add est, the tallest, the fattest, the biggest, the saddest. Now, in this way, we know the comparative and superlative form for the adjectives of one syllable. If we have an adjective of two syllables, can form the comparative by adding er and est as the adjectives of one syllable. But be careful because we have happy that ends in y. We have to change y for I before adding er. Happy, happier than. The superlative, the happiest. Remember that for the superlative, we use the article the before the adjective. Simple, simpler than, the simplest. Busy, busier than, the busiest. And we are going to have adjectives of 3 or more syllables. For those adjectives, we are going to use the words more than and put the adjective between them to make the comparative. And to make the superlative, we are going to use the words the most before the adjective. Let's check this table. Adjective, important. Comparative, more important than. Superlative, the most important. Expensive, more expensive than, the most expensive. If you check in this adjective, we don't add er. We use the word more before them. 3 or more syllables, adjectives, form the comparative by putting more in front of the adjective and the superlative by putting most. Beautiful, more beautiful. The most beautiful. Forming irregular comparatives and superlatives. For these irregular adjectives, you have to memorize the comparative and superlative forms. We have good, the comparative is going to be better than, and the superlative, the best. Bad, worse than for comparative, and the worst for superlative. Little, less than, the least. Much, more, most, and far, further, further than, the furthest, furthest. In the last one, we have 2 possible forms. Both are correct. Let's check if we understand more or less the use of these comparative and superlative forms. Answering this quiz. Choose the correct word to fill in the blanks. Okay? If you check in each exercise, we have 4 alternatives for them. Okay? A volunteer for the first one, choose the best alternative to complete the sentence, please. A volunteer?
Me.
Yes.
B. This book is more interesting than that one.
Yes, more interesting. Yes, because we have a long adjective. Okay. The second one, please. Another volunteer. Thank you. Hello, another volunteer. It could be the same volunteer, please.
More taller than my doctor.
Okay, let's check. Astrid, are you Astrid?
Yep.
Okay, Astrid, let's check. But remember that we have long adjectives as in the first exercise, and we have short adjectives, okay? With long adjectives, we are going to use more. With short adjectives, remember that we don't use more. Then, after this brief explanation, what it could be your second alternative for this sentence? Astrid.
Taller.
Exactly. Can you read the complete sentence, please?
My son is taller than my daughter.
Exactly. Then remember again, all of you, remember, we have long adjectives where we use more, and short adjectives that we use ER at the end. Okay, thank you, Astrid, for your participation. Okay, and you can continue participate if you want, Astrid. Please, number 3. This is,
Better. This is the better cake I ever had.
better is for comparative. In this case, we don't have two objects.
Entonces es the best.
The best, exactly. Okay. Thank you, Astrid. Thank you for your help. Okay, this is the best. Remember that we have two forms, comparatives and superlatives, but they have some rules. Peter is, okay, what is the alternative that complete the first exercise for this second slide?
Peter is more careful than Robert.
Thank you, Carla. Yes, more careful. Thank you, Carla. Thanks a lot. Okay, another volunteer. Or if you want to continue participating, Carla, it's okay.
More pussy. Who is more pussy, Daniel or Matthew?
This is a short adjective.
Sure.
Remember, with short adjectives, we cannot use more.
Busier.
Exactly. Okay, again, Astrid, thank you so much. Okay, remember, we are learning about the long adjectives and the short adjectives. Long adjectives use more. Short adjectives add ER. The next one, please. That is superlative. A volunteer, please, to do it. The next exercise.
He is the happiest person I know.
Yes, thank you, Fernando. He is the happiest person. Thank you. Yes, you're right. Okay. Another set of exercises, please. For the first one is superlative.
Which is the tallest building in the world?
Yes, Fernando, you're
Yeah.
right. Tallest. Okay, you're an expert in superlative. The next one, Fernando, is superlative
Jupiter
too.
is,
Okay, Astrid.
Jupiter is the biggest planet in our solar system.
Yes, the biggest. Yes, you're right. Thank you so much. Okay, the other one, please, is a long adjective.
Natalie is more intelligent than her sister.
Yes, you're right. More intelligent. Thank you. The last one, please. It's a long adjective.
This watch is most expensive than that one.
No, because it's not superlative, it's comparative.
Ah, more expensive.
More expensive, exactly. Remember that we have comparative and superlative forms. Okay, then thank you so much for your participation. Okay, let's see. Do you have any question, comment, doubt? No? Ok. Nada
No.
más recordarles, hay en el WhatsApp, el grupo de WhatsApp, les subí un link para contestar una encuesta que nos están pidiendo de coordinación. Les voy a agradecer mucho que la puedan contestar. Si ya lo hicieron, les quedo agradecido. Y la segunda, para esta última parte de nuestro curso, podríamos decirlo, unidades 5 y 6, de favor subir el portafolio y la actividad integradora en tiempo y forma, porque después del examen de las unidades 5 y 6, tengo que sacar las calificaciones de inglés 5 e inmediatamente empezamos con inglés 6, pero tengo que dar las calificaciones de inglés 5 para pedirles que le echen más ganas en inglés 6 o ver cómo podemos fortalecer lo que se nos haya quedado atrasado un poquito en inglés 5. No sé si me di a entender. Entonces, para este último periodo de inglés 5, que es unidades 5 y 6, sí subir las actividades en tiempo y forma. Ya está abierta la unidad 5 en la plataforma, ¿sí? Por si alguno de ustedes en esta semana ya quiere subir este, su actividad integradora y el portafolio, pues ya lo puede hacer. ¿Sí quedó claro lo que les acabo de comentar?
Sí, doctor. Gracias.
Ok.
Sí.
Entonces nada más pedirles que pongan su nombre y su grupo en el chat y agradecerles como siempre su presencia, su interés y su tiempo por estar el día de hoy en esta clase. See you next Saturday. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Sí, doctor.
See
Bye.
you.